Welcome to Animania Chronicles, where we dive deep into the captivating worlds of anime, dissecting stories, unraveling characters, and sharing our passion for all things animated. In this video, we will continue our journey delving deeper into the captivating world of Blue Lock, where talent meets ambition and the pursuit of greatness knows no bounds. As we continue our journey, Nico replied that he controls the game with his eyes and he has no chance against him. Then we see Naru on the field, and he was waiting for Isagi's pass. The opponents were able to intercept the ball, and Team Z tried to get the ball back. Isagi managed to see through the opposing team's moves and planned to use his new weapon. Suddenly, Nick asked if they also heard Ego's speech about taking up your weapon. Nico said those words made him think. He said that there are many talented players in Blue Lock. Then he said that he is very smart, and Isagi can't stop his ideas in his mind. In the meantime, it was Igarashi's turn to shine, but the opponents didn't let him get to the ball. Isagi continued to try to prevent Nico's combination play with Okoa. After this, Nick said that he planned to use their revenge tactic at the last minute to win. Okoa passed the ball to Nico, and Isagi learned that the entire Y team planned to rush towards the goal. He didn't want to lose under any circumstances, and the monster in him started to grow. At that moment, Team Z tried to stop the opponents, but Nico was in front of the goal. Lemon thought it would be a one-on-one against Nico. Suddenly, he passed the ball to Okoa, who was already waiting for the ball. At the last moment, Isagi appeared, and he got the ball because he smelled a chance to score. He said that they were similar, and for these reasons, he knew he wouldn't shoot. Isagi began to initiate the counterattack, and he planned to let go of the loser version of himself. That day, Isagi was reborn, and he took his first step into becoming a top striker. After that, teams used their weapons, and Bachira dribbled his way through the opponents. He then passed to Gagamaru, and he missed the ball. The reason for this was that Bachira planned to pass the ball to Isagi from the start. Isagi was a real egoist, and he scored the goal that led to Team Z's victory. Afterwards, it was announced that time was up, and Team Z was happy about the victory. Isagi walked towards the opposing team and realized that he had crushed the dreams of these 11 people. In that moment, he understood what it meant to win, and he realized that the feeling of defeating someone in a fight felt good. Later on, Team Z celebrated their victory in their second game. They shared their food with each other, and Gagamaru tried to stop Imamura so that he wouldn't eat the entire state by himself. Suddenly, Isagi was asked how he knew where the ball would end up in the game. He told his friends that he could smell the goal chance, and Bachira tried to feed him. Team Z was impressed by Isagi, and they planned to do their best to survive in Blue Lock. In the evening, Isagi couldn't sleep because he was still excited about scoring a goal. Then he met Chijiri, who couldn't sleep either. Chijiri was watching the footage, and he wasn't surprised that Isagi couldn't sleep. Afterwards, Isagi said that he will remember this moment forever, and he believes that he wouldn't be able to do it again. Suddenly, Chijiri said that he has a very keen spatial awareness, and he explains to Isagi that most of the players on the field are focusing on the ball. He said that this skill helped him score the winning goal, and he just needs to learn how to use his weapon consistently. That's when Isagi realized that it wasn't luck, and he was surprised that Chijiri is also a nice guy. He then asked what weapon Chijiri has, and he replied that he didn't want to talk about it. Suddenly, Chijiri told him about his knee injury. Also, he learned that Chijiri dreamed of becoming the world's greatest striker too. He said if he injured himself in the same spot again, he would never be able to play soccer, and he joined the Blue Lock project to give up on his dream. Meanwhile, Jinpachi was visited by Free, and she was annoyed that he didn't clean his room. He replied that the contract said he doesn't have to do anything unrelated to soccer. Afterwards, she asked about the first selection process, and he replied that it's going real well. Later we see Isagi, who missed the goal again. He took a break and thought about how he could use his spatial awareness skill in a match. Also, he thought about Shiri's words, and he wanted to change. Suddenly, the screen turned on, and Jinpachi showed them the results. So Team Z learned that Team Thief was the strongest team. In addition, the ranks of the Team Z members changed, and Isagi was the top-ranked player. Jinpachi said that the first step was to find their weapons, and he told them the next step to make it stand out. This is how Team learned why the world-class player Messi is one of the top strikers in the world. He also said that everyone has different weapons, and so they have to create their own formula that will get them to the goal. They then learned that their next match starts in 24 hours, and Isagi thought about Jinpachi's words. He didn't know what Jinpachi meant by "make it stand out" because he could only smell scoring chances. Suddenly, he realized that he is always exhausted, and he planned to polish his physique. Kunigami said that he will train with him to catch up with Team Z's top-ranked player. Then, Bachira showed up and said that the whole Team Z was running after him. The reason for this was that Isagi motivated them, and they wanted to catch up to Isagi as top striker. At that moment, he remembered the day when he thought his future as a striker was over, but this time everything was different, and Isagi planned to become the best striker in Blue Lock. In the afternoon, Team Z looked at the results, and they learned that Team Dog couldn't afford to lose. They watched the footage, and Lemon said that the key players of Team W are the Wanma brothers. Lemon added that their foe is their combination play. Suddenly, REI asked why Lemon is in charge of this meeting. He replied that Quan isn't back from his bath yet. They wondered where Quan was because he had been gone for a long time. Suddenly, Quan appeared, and he said that he had lost track of time because he was thinking of a name for their new tactic. After this, he told them about his plan to rotate the players into 3 groups so they can shine even more on the field. But the name of the operation was lame, and Gagamaru cheered Quan up. Meanwhile, Isagi thanked Lemon for being the goalkeeper. As a result, their tactic was decided, and Team Z was determined to win tomorrow's game against Team W. The following day, the game between Team Z and Team Nu started, and the Wanma brothers immediately stormed towards the opponent's goal. They got through Igarashi with ease, and Isagi didn't think they would get past Kunigami. Unfortunately, he was wrong, and the Wanma brothers showed that they are very skilled, so Isagi told Shagiri that they have to stop the Wanma brothers. Suddenly, the Wanma brothers called Chijiri the genius made of glass. They were surprised that he still plays soccer. Then they stormed past him and said that his time as a player is over. They made fun of him, but Isagi took the opportunity and took the ball from the opponent. Afterwards, Isagi said that he doesn't have to pay attention to them. Chijiri said that he should leave him alone. Meanwhile, Quan scored a goal, and Team Z took the lead. Then Isagi said that he is not interested in his past, and he wants to see what he is in the present. A short time later, the second kickoff began, and Junichi was dejected. He was distracted, and the ball was taken away from him. Bachira dribbled his way through the opponents, and he passed to Quan. Suddenly, Quan decided to shoot, and he scored a goal that surprised the players on the field. Quan said he was at his best, and Kiji tried to calm his brother down. Team Z was on the move, and it was time for them to rotate. Suddenly, Team Z was fouled by Junichi, and Imamura laughed at him. As a result, Team Z got a free kick, and Bachira realized that they were in bad shape. He passed the ball to Quan, and he scored his 3rd goal. In the meantime, Jinpachi noticed that something was wrong. Then we see Team Z in the dressing room celebrating Quan's goals, and they thought that they will easily win the game before the second half began. Isagi asked if Chijiri still planned to give up soccer. After that, the kickoff started, and Reiji was motivated to score some goals. He passed the ball to Quan, but the ball was immediately stolen from him. Isagi was surprised, but he tried to steal the ball back, and Shagiri was afraid to use his weapon. As a result, the Wanma brothers managed to score a goal. Following this, Quan tried to calm Team Z down, and he passed to Isagi. Kiji got the ball first, and he scored another goal. Suddenly, he asked for forgiveness, and Kunigami said that they should calm down because there was no intention of passing the ball to the enemy. Meanwhile, Isagi noticed that Quan was smiling, and he thought that he had just imagined it. After that, it was Isagi's group's turn to shine, and he aimed to score. He passed to Kunigami, and he noticed that he wasn't close enough to use his mid-range shot. Kunigami noticed that Bachira also had no options to use his weapon. As a result, he decided to pass back to Isagi, who had the entire field in his sight. At that moment, he realized that the opponents had figured out their plan, and he couldn't smell a goal. Suddenly, the ball was stolen from him, and Isagi didn't want to admit that Quan was a traitor. After that, Quan got a chance to score a goal, and Aji noticed he intentionally missed it. Team Du scored their 3rd goal, and Isagi asked him if he is a traitor. The Wanma brother replied that he was correct, and they said that Team W learned about Team Z's weapons and tactics through Quan. Then, the Wanma brothers said that it is game over for Team Z, and Isagi was shocked. REI was angry, and he replied that he was just trying to survive in Blue Lock. Rai wasn't allowed to beat up Quan because he would get a red card. Afterwards, Quan switched sides and said that he will be the only one who will survive from Team Z. In the meantime, Dre was shocked about it, but Jinpachi was excited to see what Team Z would do. That's all for today. Stay tuned for the next part. Thank you for joining us on this journey through the vast realms of anime. Don't forget to subscribe, hit that notification bell, and stay tuned for more thrilling reviews and discussions. Until next time, keep exploring the boundless wonders of anime with us.